Hola everybody. Alright, so I'm doing the same type of video except I'm incorporating a bunch of different things because that's what my brain does. I have an analogy that I would like to share, a story that I'd like to share, and a lot of people always ask me what is the process that my crazy little brain goes through when I do a painting. So, I'm going to show you. But I'm also going to do an analogy because that's how I do my paintings. Those analogies that I come up with, I don't come up with it to be sly. That's just how my brain works. That's how I see things. That's how I feel things. And that's how I paint things. So, starting with that, I'm going to start a story. It's about a bridge. It's about the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge, for me, has always been one of the most important things in the world. It's always been important to me because as a child, my grandparents, they had a house up in Northern California. And it was up on the beach. And to get there, we had to go over the Golden... Well, you didn't have to go over the Golden Gate Bridge, but as a child, a special thing is we would take that extra 30 minutes to go around and go over the Golden Gate Bridge. And I remember even as a child thinking, one day there wasn't a bridge. There wasn't always a bridge here. Somebody had to, there was just two rocks, and in between it a bay, nothing. And somebody somewhere decided, let's connect those two pieces. Okay, well, when a brain injury happens to you, or anything traumatic for that matter, what it does is it tears down that bridge. Now, the thing about a broken bridge is bridges break all the time. I mean, it's just a thing that happens. But they're not gone. Once a bridge, once an idea for a bridge is built, then a bridge can always be rebuilt. It's the idea that has to come first. Once the idea has been planted, it's there. I always get very, very excited when I have a memory, because a new memory now is a link to my past that I thought was gone forever. And that link to my past, it floods me now when it happens. I mean, it truly is. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much comes to me and how excited I get. I mean, people laugh at me, and it's okay. I mean, they can laugh. But when I remember something from my past, I get a piece of myself back. And this broken bridge that I'm drawing right now, I start to get a piece back. Okay, that flood that I'm always talking about, that staircase, you don't just have to build a staircase. You can build whatever you need that gets you to where you want to go. Okay, for some people, it's a stairway to heaven. For some people, it's a bridge that takes you from, for me when I was a kid, it took me from the always chaotic and always gritty city of Los Angeles to what for me is my heaven. It wasn't a stairway to get there, it was a bridge to get there. Right now I'm building a stairway to a different kind, but you know, one analogy at a time. So, in this flood, there's pieces that we can grab. And if we allow ourselves to grab those pieces, any of them, doesn't matter what they are, so long as they fit together when you put them together, and your new brain is the only one that can tell you how to put it together. So you got to listen to it, to him, to her, to it. You know, I get distracted. what the pieces look like. What the pieces look like, that's not the issue. It doesn't matter if they're ugly, it doesn't matter if they're dirty. Everything can be cleaned. The Golden Gate Bridge did not start off as the Golden Gate Bridge. It started off as a hole, as a space of nothing. And then one day, somebody, I haven't done the history before making this video, so my apologies to the person that originally came up with the idea for the Golden Gate Bridge. But somebody came up with the idea. Once the idea was in place, all they had to do was make it happen. And when it first was being built, I'm sure it looked like crap. I mean, think about it. You don't just build a bridge. It's not like you say, okay, we're going to build a bridge, and then the next day there's a big, shiny, red icon for the world to see. When you're rebuilding yourself after being hurt, however you have, you want it to be something as simple and as easy as, okay, I know that I need a bridge now, so let's just put a bridge there. Because you've already gone through so much crap that the idea of building a bridge now on top of everything that you've already gone through seems like the most absurdly impossible thing in the world to do. And not only is it impossible, I mean, impossible is one thing, but you just plain don't want to do it. I mean, that it just comes down to that. You just don't want to do it. You don't have the energy. And then, because you're not making progress, you feel really bad about the fact that you do not have the energy to make progress. And then you beat yourself up like it's your fault that you don't have the energy to make progress. It's not your fault. You know how many people quit or died building this bridge? Some of them died simply because they made a mistake. Some of them died not because they were careless and made a mistake, but because they were so dedicated that they got blind for a second and made a mistake. It's going to happen to every last one of us, every day of our life, for the rest of our lives. It's just how it is. It will always be that way. But just because you accidentally dropped a bolt while building your bridge, just because you tripped and almost fell all the way to your death while building your bridge, does not mean you have to stop building your bridge. It's your bridge. You are the one who dictates when and if it's built. And if you really want to get to the other side, which, back to that story of Northern California, my heaven. My grandparents' house when I was a child, that was my heaven. And when I crossed that bridge for me is that transformation from the chaotic part, which I love. I love the chaotic part of myself in Los Angeles where I grew up. I love it. And I live in it. But there's a part of me that needs the peace. That needs this bridge to be built. No matter how many times I tear it down or somebody else tears it down, I need it to be there. So I'm going to take the time. I'm going to paint it. And as you're watching me paint it, I'm making mistakes. There's things here that I didn't mean to put there. But I know I can erase them. It frustrates me. I wish I hadn't put this mountain there. That's not where I meant to do it. But, oh well. I'll fix it. At least I know that I want to fix it. The point is noticing that you want to fix it, and then doing something about it. So, back to your bridge. And up north. So up north for me, why it was so special, we go up there, the house they had, it was in a little town called Point Arena, California. And about maybe 100 miles north of San Francisco. And this house they had was on a cliff that overlooked Bowling Ball Beach. You can look it up. You can Google it. It's all over the place. People have pictures of it. It's a beautiful, very beautiful place. And when you see the pictures, you'll understand why it's called Bowling Ball Beach. And every trip up there, we'd get out of the car and you'd say the obligatory hellos. And how's your life been today? What have you been up to? Oh, the same old, you know who said what to what. And back talking about relatives and saying things to others that you would never say to their faces. You know, and then breathing in the smell of the Pacific Ocean in Northern California mixed with the redwoods. And what I now realize, as a kid I didn't realize, was probably the copious amounts of marijuana being grown in the hillside. But the smell, it overwhelms the senses, especially when you're a person whose senses seem to be on overdrive. So I would get there, and we'd do the obligatory hellos and everything. And as a child, that's what you do. Your parents say, be nice, you know, shake everybody's hand, do that thing, and so you do. And I would. And then they would show me the room. Well, most of the time, as a kid, as you get set to the children's table as children do, sorry, I just thought something nice, like, I need charcoal. As you get sent to the children's table, as children do, well, I was relegated to the couch bed most of the time, which, trust me, was not wrong. It was not bad in any way, shape, or form. It's the most gorgeous house in the world. Oh, my autistic son's open. I should, awake, I should be a little bit more quiet. But he wakes up at this time every day. Either which way. So it wasn't bad. Fireplace, everything, beautiful. But once I got to stay in the guest bedroom, which had a bed that was made of goose down, I think. And, yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It was gorgeous. It was perfect. Everything was cedar or pine or redwood or whatever wood it was. It doesn't matter. It was all the same wood, and on the outside of the French door windows was the Pacific Ocean. And the crashing, the Pacific Ocean, it's called that. It means calm. It means pacifist. Pacific, Pacifico, calm. And there is this amazing calmness to it. But the violence that she can throw, especially at night, that's maybe why I connect to her the way I do. I see I'm running up on my time limit here, so I will pause here, recollect myself, and then start part 2, I guess.